Vi börjar med att berätta att engelska Asian Dub Foundation, danska DAD och Olle Ljungström är spelklara för Hultsfredsfestivalen 15-17 juni. Speed of Sound Enterprise, Slum Village och Within Reach är också spelklara för Hultsfred. Och så blir det minimalistisk techno med amerikanska DJ Rolando. Men nu hiphop. En sån som Ken behövs. Det säger bland annat Sportrunners och många andra inom svensk hiphop, eftersom Ken alltid säger precis vad han tycker. Förra året fick han media mot sig på grund av ett kontroversiellt uttalande om prinsessan Madeleine. Händelsen har inte gjort honom försiktigare och den har inte heller satt några spår, varken privat eller musikaliskt, på nya plattan Mitt hem blir ditt hem.
Det kanske många förväntar, men alltså, samtidigt så måste man ju säga att den här skivan är mycket hårdare än den förra skivan. Den är mycket mer aggressiv och sådär och mer liksom samhällskritisk om man säger så. Men det har ju inte så mycket med kungen och Madeleine att göra, liksom, utan det handlar inte om det, utan det är bara att fortsätta göra det allt jag gjort liksom. Men det är hiphop, det är det hiphop står för, och kunna bara uttrycka exakt det du känner på musik liksom. Det är hiphop, vad ska man säga? Fast det är väl bara typ kanske jag och några till som vågar.
Jag känner mig som ett obalanserat litet djur. Den här låten går ut till min begravning. Pumpar den i kyrkan, ser orden som en varning.
Jag tror att de flesta liksom känner samma sak som jag gör. Det är bara det att jag är en sån person som alltid står för vad jag tycker liksom. Jag kommer inte ljuga för någon liksom, för att rädda mitt eget arsle i en jävla rubrikskandal liksom.
Finns det någonting som du tycker, när jag slutar att göra skivor, då ska de i alla fall ha fattat att Ken tycker så här, eller Ken står för det här? Finns det någon sån agenda?
Nej, men jag har sagt till mig själv att den dagen jag typ bestämmer sig, nu ska jag lägga av, nu ska jag sluta, nu ska jag aldrig mer liksom göra en skiva och bara köra typ produktion eller någonting. Så den dagen så ska jag liksom göra liksom en lång, stor, liksom 8-sidig intervju när jag bara pratar om allt och alla, vad jag känner för alla och hur det är och hur folk funkar och vad andra människor har gjort som liksom, människor som tycker en sak, och sen har jag sett en annan sida för att jag träffat den personen privat, så jag ska lägga ut allting liksom. Fan. Och sen dra mig tillbaka liksom.
Alla sitter lite löst där alltså?
Ja. Alla som vet, nu väntar bara.
I Sveriges reggae-huvudstad Skärblacka utanför Norrköping hålls det den 12 maj en minneskonsert för Bob Marley. På scenen står bland andra Kalle Ba, Redeem Section, Socka Baboons och One Vibe. Själva minneskonserten startade med att Kalle Ba drog ut sina instrument på en gräsmatta och spelade till minne för Bob Marley när han dog 1981. Och sedan dess har det blivit en tradition. Något av det värsta som kan hända ett band är att deras instrument blir stulna. Ganska nyligen drabbades ju Bob Hund. Cardigans och Wannadies har också blivit bestulna. Och för sådär ett år sedan hade dåvarande Popsicle inbrott i sin replokal.
Första reaktionen var väl att vi blev tomma inombords. Den andra reaktionen var skadeglädje, för vi upptäckte att tjuvarna hade jobbat sig igenom en 3 decimeter tjock betongvägg. Och det måste tagit dem flera timmar.
Konsekvensen av stölden blev att Popsicle var tvungna att hyra instrument i den kommande turnén. Av en slump hittade Arvid sina instrument när han gick förbi ett skyltfönster. De hade hamnat i musikaffären efter att de sålts på en pantbanksaktion. Trots att polisen tycker att de har god kontroll på pantbankerna händer det ändå att stulna instrument säljs vidare.
Pantbankslagen ger oss den möjligheten att vi besöker pantbankerna då, gå igenom, titta vad finns det för någonting där som är intressant. Och när vi då tycker att det här köpet ska vi titta lite närmare på, då tar vi fram, sätter oss vid datorn och kontrollerar serienumret, och då ska vi få en träff. Är det anmält stulet, då kommer vi se det på skärmen.
Egentligen är gitarrer ett bruksföremål, så att det är egentligen bara att köpa nya, fast man blir ju fast vid sina instrument, det blir man ju. Så det känns ju väldigt onödigt ekonomiskt.
För att öka chansen att få tillbaka ett stulet instrument ska man anteckna serienumret. Dessutom bör man kolla om hemförsäkringen verkligen gäller. Oftast krävs nämligen en tilläggsförsäkring om instrumenten blir stulna utanför hemmet.
Ja, vi brukar ju på min grupp har alltid hävdat att fotografera ett föremål är ju väldigt bra. Och det är många som gör.
Vad skulle du vilja säga till alla instrumentsnattare runt om i Sverige?
Håll tassarna borta från våra instrument.
Bristol-trion Massive Attack har gett modeföretaget Armani tillåtelse att använda deras låt Angel i en världsomspännande reklamkampanj. Alla pengar som gruppen tjänar kommer att gå till välgörenhet. Största delen går till Röda Korset och en mindre del till en översvämmad by i Mosambik. Ja, som vanligt hittar ni fler och uppdaterade nyheter på vår hemsida svt.se. Nästa vecka tillägnar vi hela programmet åt The Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Och på tal om storheter, nu har det blivit dags för självaste David Bowie att bjuda på sig själv. Redan i höstas gjorde han klart att han inte kommer ge sig ut på någon turné förrän tidigast nästa år. Men i samband med senaste albumsläppet så ställde sig i alla fall en väldigt spontan och glad David Bowie inför en i Bowie-mått mätt väldigt liten publik. Där ställde han sig och körde anekdoter och gamla och nya låtar, så som Thursday's Child och Life on Mars. David Bowie, the storyteller.
So many stories I could tell you. I wish I could have more time to tell you things like things I could tell you. Oh, you don't know the half of it. It's on America's tortured brow that Mickey Mouse has grown up a cow, and the workers have struck for fame, for Lennon's on sale again. See the mice in their million hordes, from Ibiza to the Norfolk Broads. Rule Britannia is out of bounds. To my mother, my dog and clowns. But the film is a saddening bore, for I've lived it 10 times or more. It's about to be lived again, as I ask you to focus on sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show. Take a look at the man beating up the wrong guy. Oh man, wonder if he'll ever know. It's the best-selling show. Is there life on Thank you, Michael. Welcome to Storytellers. Well, I'd like to bring on the rest of the artists who will be working with us tonight. In about 1968, my then publisher asked me if I would do an English lyric for a French song that he was managing at the time. It's called Comme d'habitude. Sorry, Comme d'habitude. And I said I'd have a crack at it. And I turned in the pitifully awful title, Even a Fool Learns to Love, which he rejected out of hand, quite rightly, I feel. And it passed on to Paul Anka, who did his own English lyric. And he called it, simply and effectively, My Way. So in retaliation, yeah, right. In retaliation, I wrote Life on Mars. But then I got my comeuppance
when Miss Barbara Streisand decided to cover Mars, going through one of her slightly more lost periods, she had her then husband come hairdresser produce and arrange and probably blow dry it. Anyway, I could tell you about the time that I first met Mark Bolan, who became very, very good friend of mine. We actually met very early on in the 60s, before either of us were even a tadpole known. We were nothing. We were just two nothing kids with huge ambitions. And we both had the same manager at the time. And we met each other firstly painting the wall of our then manager's office. Hello, who are you?
I'm Mark, man.
Hi, what do you do?
I'm a singer.
Oh yes, so am I. You a mod?
Yeah, I'm King Mud. Your shoes are crap.
Well, you're short. So we became really close friends. Mark took me dustbin shopping. At that time, Carnaby Street, the fashion district, was going through a period of incredible wealth. And rather than replace buttons on their shirts or zippers on their trousers, at the end of the day, they just throw it all away in the dustbins. So we used to go up and down Carnaby Street, this is prior to King's Road, and go through all the dustbins around 9, 10 o'clock at night and get our wardrobes together. That's how life was, you see. I could also tell you that when we used to play the working men's clubs up north, very rough district, and I first went out as Ziggy Stardust, I was in the dressing room, one club, and I said to the manager, could you show me where the lavatory is, please? And he said, "Aye, look up that corridor, and you see the sink attached to the wall at the end. There you go." So I tottered briefly on my Stack Hill boots and said, "My dear man, I'm not pissing in a sink." He said, "Looks as if it's good enough for Shirley Bassey, it's good enough for you." Then were the days, I guess.
They say I'm wrong. You take a thing. You put them all in your tongue, your dress, and your face is a mess, and your hot tramp.
La-di-da-di-da-di. This little pretty ditty is from a new album that we've made called Hours. It's called Thursday's Child. Thursday's Child. It's a title not imbued with arcane knowledge, as you might think, but it was prompted by the memory of the autobiography of Eartha Kitt. When I was about 14, Eartha Kitt and D.H. Lawrence were some of my favourite bedtime reading. Not just my bedtime, the truth be known. I'd seen this paperback in W.H. Smith's of the Eartha Kitt life story, and she was standing quite sexily by a tree with the fields in the background, and it was called Thursday's Child. And that stayed with me since I was 14. I don't know why, but it just kind of bubbled up the other month when we wrote this. This song, I might point out, is not actually about Eartha Kitt.
life. I tried so hard, doing my best with what I had. Nothing much happened all the same. Something about me stood apart, a whisper of hope that seemed to fade. Maybe I'm born right out of my time, breaking my heart in two. Now that I've really got a chance, everything's falling into place. Seeing my past to let it go. Only for you I don't regret that I was Thursday's child. Oh no. Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. Sometimes I cry my heart to
Thank you very much. That's from the new album, Hours. The late, but still irrepressible Stevie Marriott and I were quite close buddies in the 60s. And Steve was very short, but long on big ideas. I've got this idea, he'd say over eggs and bacon. Why don't we form like this R&B duo and call ourselves David and Goliath? You be David. Yeah, well, at the time I was messing about with a kind of a knockoff Muddy Waters band called the Manish Boys. And one night he came up to me in the dressing room and he said, you know, I've got my mates Ronnie and Kenny together and we're going to form a band. Yeah. Well, what we're going to do is get these like really big amplifiers and this enormous drum kit. Kind of like the Who, you know? But we're going to be really, really little. So we're going to call ourselves the Small Faces. Well, it worked out in a major way. This song comes in that same period, probably just a bit after that. It's the first song that I wrote and recorded as a solo artist. And it's a beautiful piece of solipsism. It's called Can't Help Thinking About Me. And it does contain, though some might disagree, two of the worst lines I've ever written. I actually have to sing this. My girl calls my name, hi Dave, drop in, come back, see you around if you're this way again. You don't think that's the worst line? No. We won't even look at Tin Machine lyrics.
We can look at who wrote them.
Blame the computer, mate. So this one's called Can't Help Thinking About Me.
Question time, Dad says I brought dishonor. My head's bound in shame, it seems that I've blackened the family name. My mother says that she can't stand the neighbors talking. I gotta pack my bags, leave this home, start walking. I'm guilty, I wish that I was sorry this time. I wish that I could pay for my crime, but I can't help thinking about me. Can't help thinking about me. Can't help thinking about me. Remember when we used to go to church on Sundays? I lay awake at night, terrified of school on Mondays. It's too late, no, I wish I was a child again. Wish I felt secure again, but I can't help thinking about me. Can't help thinking about me. Can't help thinking about me. Oh yeah. And I pass the recreation ground. Remember my friends, always around, but I can't help thinking about me. Can't help thinking about me. Can't help thinking about me. Now I leave them all in this never, never land. This nation feels so cold, the ticket's in my hand. My girl calls my name, hi Dave. Drop in, see you around, come back, if you're this way again. I'm on my own, I've got a long, long way to go. Hope I make it on my own. Can't help thinking about me. Can't help thinking about me. Can't help thinking about me. Won't stop thinking about me. Can't help thinking about me. Won't stop thinking about me.
No, I don't like that anymore. I was somewhat blamed for putting the 60s to their funeral. This is not true. As far as I was concerned, the 60s were already dead. I merely helped clear the bodies. Go back to Stevie Marriott for a minute. We shared the services of a roadie. For the sake of this anecdote, we should just call him Doug Bennett. It's a name. Doug Bennett was a short, stocky, sulky, total illiterate, but he worked well for us. One day I got my hands on an American car, and I was excited, so I jumped into the driver's seat and put Doug in the passenger seat, and we shot off up the motorway to a gig, going really quite fast. And needless to say, with my luck, the police pulled us over, and English plod came wandering over to the driver's window. What would be the driver's window on a British car? Tapped on the window. The window went down. He said, "Do you know how fast you were going, sir?" He said, "Name's Doug Bennett, can't read nor write, wasn't even f***ing driving." Iggy Pop and I were a couple of very naughty boys who went to Berlin to learn how to be good. Or was I watching the Travel Channel? I remember. Oh, it's so 20th century when a commercial gets a round of applause. Well, I remember one morning after a particularly mischievous night out, we both met up at a coffee bar that we used to frequent and discussed the doings of the night before. And Iggy, or Jim, related most extraordinary events. He said that he'd been to a punk club. It was the anniversary of the building of the wall, that you must remember. And he went to a punk club that were holding an anniversary party. And they built an entirely accurate replica of the Berlin Wall. And at the stroke of midnight, 50 savage, demented punks leapt on this wall and tore it to pieces with their mouths and teeth and fists. Smash, smash. But he said it was the aftermath that was the most affecting, because there were, after all this had happened, they demolished the wall. There were small groups of them standing around in the corners, pitifully crying, tears streaming down their faces. I thought that was an incredibly moving thing and a real memory of Berlin, the Berlin that I knew at the time anyway. This is a song that I wrote with Jim at around that time, and I guess this one is also sort of about invasion and exploitation. Take it away, Mike. I'm just a wreck without my little China girl. I hear her heart beating. It's loud as thunder. I saw the stars crashing. I'm a mess without my little China girl. Wake up in the morning with a smile.
thunder, my soul starts crashing down. I feel tragic like Marlon Brando when I look at my China girl. I could pretend nothing really meant too much when I look at my China girl. I stumble into town just like some sacred cow. Visions of swastikas in my head, plans for everyone. It's in the words of my heart. My little China girl, you shouldn't mess with me. I'll ruin everything that you are. Sure, I'll give you television. I'll give you eyes of blue. I'll give you a man who wants to rule the world. And when I get excited, my little China girl, she said, oh baby, just you shut your mouth. She said, she said, little China girl. Little China
But you better get off while it's going good. Memory, some say, is fate's shorthand, so it seems. And it seems to me that I do recall at some time in the 70s, the revolutionary and yippie, Abby Hoffman, saying to me over a drink, tomorrow isn't promised. Reminding me that if we move one grain of sand, the earth is no longer exactly the same. No one going on a business trip would be missed if they never arrived. David Mamet said that. Which brings us to this song of Nowness, a new song from the new album. This one's called Seven.
forgot what my father said. I forgot what he said. I forgot what my mother said as we lay on your bed. A city full of flowers, a city full of rain. I've got 7 days to live my life, or 7 ways to die. What my brother said, I forget what he said. Don't regret anything at all. I remember how we went on a bridge of violent people. I was small enough to cry. I got 7 days to live my life, or 7 ways to die. Hold my face before you, feel my trembling heart. 7 days to live my life, or 7 ways to die. Gods forgot that they made me. Well, I forget them too. I listen to the shadows. I play among the graves. My heart was never broken. My patience never tried. I've got 7 days to live my life, 7 ways to die. 7 days to live my life, or 7 ways to die. 7, 7, 7. Thank you. One of the people that used to follow Ziggy and the Spiders around were slightly effete comedians on one side and huge bull-necked gangsters on the other side. I can only guess. Driving Saturday was written as was actually written as a follow-up single for Mott the Hoople, who'd had some considerable success with another song that I'd written for them called All the Young Dudes. Well, they in their wisdom decided the time had come for them to write their own single, so it was given back to me. I was so annoyed that one night in Florida I shaved my eyebrows off. You think I'm joking? I actually am not joking. I got very drunk and shaved my eyebrows off. I was so annoyed that they didn't do this song.
Taught them a lesson.
It's really taught them a lesson. Here it is for you now. Go to bed. Don't forget to turn on the light. Don't laugh, babe, it'll be alright. Pour me out another bowl. Well, ring and see if a home. Perhaps the strange ones in the dome can lend us a book we can read up aloud and try to get it on like once before. When people stared in Jagger's eyes and scorn, like the video films we saw. His name was always funny and shrunk and asked us like. She'd sigh like Twig the Wonder Kid and turn her face away. She's uncertain if she likes him, but she knows she really loves him. It's a crash course for the right bus. It's a driving Saturday, yeah. Young the foreman prays of work. Neither hands nor limbs will burst. It's hard enough to keep formation with this fallout saturation. Cursing at the astronaut that stands in steel by his cabinet. He's crashing out with Sylvia, the bureau supply for aging men. With snorting head, he gazes to the shore, where once is reached a sea that rages no more, like the video films he saw. His name was always funny, and he struck and asked us like. She'd sigh like Twig the Wonder Kid and turn her face away. She's uncertain if she likes him, but she knows she really loves him. It's a crash course for the ravers. It's a driving Saturday. Saturday. Hey, it's a driving Saturday. It's a driving Saturday. It's a I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming tonight. Thank you, 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 thank you. 1975 and 1976, and a bit of 1974, and the first few weeks of 1977 were singularly the darkest days of my life. And I think it was so steeped in awfulness that recall is nigh on impossible, certainly painful. And I was concerned with questions like, do the dead interest themselves in the affairs of the living? Can I change the channel on my TV without using the clicker? Unwittingly, this next song was therefore a signal of distress. I'm sure that it was a call for help.
It's called Word on a Wing, and it's from Station to Station.
Där skulle man varit med. Från The Thin White Duke till dess raka motsats, åtminstone kroppsligt. För i nästa veckas Musikbyrån ägnar vi nämligen hela programmet åt världens bästa soulröst.
There was music everywhere. Music pouring out of the windows and out of the front door and music in the living room, and there's music going upstairs and music in my brother's room, and somebody's playing a record player over here. Just music all over the house.
Nej, hon har inte gjort sig känd för att ge intervjuer, men Musikbyråns Petra Wangler fick faktiskt som första svenska journalist någonsin en pratstund med souldivan Aretha Franklin i hennes hemstad Detroit. Dessutom, som ni såg, också häftiga livebilder från Berns salonger i Stockholm 1968. Missa det här och du har gjort bort dig för evigt. Vi ses. Hej då!